Hello and good morning everybody, and welcome back to today's video of DIY investing. After consolidation out of the breakout, Bitcoin is now going higher in the cycle. Where does this take us? Obviously, you guys know I've been watching this 10K resistance for a while, and I do expect good things to be coming in the short term, which will take us to that level where we can finally start to see some nice impulses coming inside of these altcoins. With that being said, we're going to be taking a look at 3 different altcoins that I'm actually really excited about for this next coming alt season, both short term and long term. Really exciting things going on inside of crypto, and I'm super excited to be able to share with you guys this video today. If you guys like my analysis and want to see more of it, do yourself a favor by clicking the invitation link in the description of this video, and there you're going to get access to my Discord server. Thank you all so much for the support. It really means a lot. Do myself a favor by leaving a like, comment, and subscribing to this channel for more updates in the future. We got good things coming, and cryptocurrency is setting off to make everybody filthy rich. It's awesome to have you guys a part of the team. So with all that being said, let's jump right in the video today. Hello everybody and welcome back. We're going to dive right into it today by taking a look at Bitcoin. And then not only that, but we're going to be diving into 3 other altcoins that I'm super excited about that I believe are showing some very solid signs of further bullish continuations or just big moves coming in general. Now, obviously we always like to start off with Bitcoin because Bitcoin is the driver of the market. And I'm noticing something very simple playing out. And it's basically just the fact that we continue to have these support and resistance flips. We had one back here, and then price goes up further, right? And then we had one right here, this 6K floor, about right there, and then price goes up higher. Then we had another one right here, and price goes up higher. And we keep having these support and resistance flips, and we just had another one happen right here. And so this is what I'm going to be watching out for. The fact that we have flipped support and resistance levels, our real next level is going to be right around this 10K mark. Whether we hit exactly 10K, whether we come back down a little bit further, it doesn't really matter. All I do know is that we will see a parabolic rise in this market, most likely close to this 10K level. Now, obviously, I've been telling you guys that it's time that we have a correction. I believe that we are heading right straight for that time where we will see a little bit more of a significant correction. This was just a pullback. These were just pullbacks. You could call this a pullback. It was very short-lived. And so we're going to need something of a more sizable correction. Now, I've told you guys before that once we hit around this 10K mark, my target's going to be about down here. The first target's going to be at about 22%. And then I have more targets set at 30%, and then even all the way down to 40% right here. And so this to me is going to be the most likely and most reasonable places to target for this pullback because of the fact we went so parabolic on the way up. You're going to need a sizable pullback when all of this new money comes into the market. Now I think it's more likely that based off of previous bull cycles like we've talked about, when we do correct we have anywhere from a 30 or from a 20 to a 40% drop. And so you might as well just do yourself a favor by, if you're watching this coin right now or you're watching Bitcoin and you haven't taken profits from down in here, now is an excellent time to be doing so. I believe we're going to get a nice euphoria candle that's going to take us up to this 10K level, and it will be a great time to be pulling those profits and then looking to add on the retrace lower, because I do expect a significant pullback, and that will most likely be the last time that you're going to be able to buy cheap Bitcoin, or at least what we would perceive as cheap Bitcoin. Technically speaking, it's going to be cheap Bitcoin all the way up to 20K, even though 20K is a significant amount of money. If we look back to the last cycle, you would have been loving every single second of buying a $1,200 Bitcoin. And that's the way that these cycles work. Once we hit all-time high and then break out of that, prices just go parabolic. And so you guys got to remember that basically up until 20K, this is considered cheap Bitcoin. And things are going to go really parabolic. My guess is we hit at least $100,000 in the next cycle. And so why wouldn't you be scooping up a chance to buy a 20K Bitcoin when you can later resell it for 100 grand? That's just the kind of the way that I'm looking at this. I know that with where we're at right now, I am expecting a sizable pullback, but first we got to go up to the next resistance level, which will be right around this 10K mark. My lowest target is going to be probably about 9,600 right around there, a 210K, and I'm just gonna kind of scale out as doing so. Now, you guys already know, I took my profits down lower in here, but I have my long-term portfolio that I'm just kind of holding through this. And so that'll be one where I'm gonna just kind of hold through these cycles. I may take a little bit more profits up in here because I do know that we'll see a sizable pullback where I'll be able to rebuy significantly lower. And so this is kind of what I'm going to be watching for with Bitcoin. Do yourself a favor, make sure that you're scaling out into this move because I don't expect it to last a significant amount of time longer, right? So this is kind of what I'm watching with Bitcoin moving forward. Overall, very exciting things. Anytime you break out of a major resistance and then make that horizontal support and resistance flip, you can expect further bullish continuation to come. So that's really all I'm expecting at this point. If we drop to a shorter time frame, we're gonna see that we basically broke out of this nice little bull flag. And that is a very bullish sign overall. That just shows that we are going to see this bullish continuation, which should take us to at least $9,400. I would expect it would probably overshoot a little bit higher than that, but that's going to be my first target for the bull flag. Next, we're going to be diving in and looking at 3 altcoins that I'm pretty excited about over the short term and long term specifically. And number 1 on the list is going to be the great almighty D.I.Y. Now, everybody knows I've been talking about this and hyped about this project for a significant amount of time, just because of the fact I know that this is following Ethereum, or I know that this is following XMR's accumulation cycle. And not only that, but it just has a basically better fundamentals than even XMR in a big way, because it's a platform where you can issue smart contracts. On top of that, it's very fast, and it's also decentralized, or it's a privacy token. With these privacy tokens, I believe that they're going to be very solid throughout the next bull market. They've proven in the past to be solid projects if you can find the right ones. XMR did excellent in the last bull market, and I expect it to do the same in this one. And so this is kind of taking what the great things made. This is kind of taking from the great things of XMR and then just kind of making it better by implementing the use of smart contracts. It's going to be something to definitely be watching out for. Now, kind of what I'm watching here with D.I.Y. It's the fact that we've had this major descending resistance for quite some time. That's a little bit thick. We've had this major descending resistance for quite some time, and we've rejected off of it 3 different times. I made my first video about D.I.Y. right here at this resistance, and I said that it was a good buy, and we have sold off a little bit from that. I have actually been buying throughout this dip and will continue to do so the lower that we go, because quite honestly, this isn't something that I'm day trading, this isn't something that I'm swing trading, this is something that I'm holding for the next couple years because of the significance of what I view as a solid project. And not only that, but if you take a look at D.I.Y., it only has 7.3 million in circulating supply, and that's always a very huge catalyst when it comes to major price swings on the upside. Now, one thing to note is the fact that we're worth 70 cents. Even if this thing only goes to $100, which I have a very high confidence it will, $100 from today's values puts us at about 143x return. And so this is something I'm very excited about. Obviously, I see massive profit potential. Look at this sell volume that we have coming in here. That signals capitulation for me. I mean, we could go a little bit lower. I do have some more entries set lower as we go, but for the most part, guys, I'm just looking to accumulate the shit out of this coin before the next bull market, because I do have a very strong hope about this. Now, I got the same sort of feeling about D.I.Y. as I did when I bought the bottom of Bitcoin back in 2016, and I also got the same feeling about D.I.Y. as I did when I bought the bottom of EOS back in 2017. I bought EOS at a significantly cheap value, basically the lowest level that you could get, just out on a whim. I just saw kind of who this Dan Larimer guy was. I saw all of the projects he worked on, and I kind of heard of what EOS was supposed to be, and I just thought, you know what, this is going to be solid, I need to buy this. And then EOS pulled a 30x, and it's about to go even more high from where we're at now. And so I'm getting those same sort of vibes with D.I.Y., only D.I.Y. reminds me back of XMR in the early days. I had a bunch of friends that were holding a bunch of XMR when it was worth less than $5. And look at what happened to that. So I'm excited about D.I.Y., looking forward to seeing what's going to happen with this market. Next up is going to be Grin. Now, Grin kind of follows a similar path as Darrow in some ways. My big reason for liking Grin, and shout out to the members of my Discord that pointed this one out to me. I'm actually really excited about this for a few different reasons. Now obviously you have nice volume coming in here, but that's not really the important fact about this. What I'm excited about this is I can definitely spot some nice rounded bottom accumulation happening. And this is always a very strong pattern to trade whenever it comes to the next bull cycle, because oftentimes when you see coins following this kind of a rounded bottom formation, it shows heavy accumulation in this time. And not only that, but anytime you're seeing this rounded bottom, it's always a very good indication that we're gonna have a very hyped cycle on the way up. Because anytime you have somebody accumulating a lot of this, you're gonna see these nice, long, drawn out, slow consolidation periods, and that always leads to a massive hype cycle. Now, my other reason for liking this coin is the fact there's only 11 million in the circulating supply, so just a little bit more than Darrow, but not enough to really be worrying about anything to do with that. Now, it's worth $2.36. Once again, this is a coin that I could definitely see is worth at least $100 in the next cycle. And so that'd put us at about a 40x return, 42x, somewhere right around there. Right now, I'm currently watching for a little bit of a sell-off. It's possible that we kind of bounce up and out of this based off of current accumulation. But I would like to be able to buy some a little bit cheaper, but it's not looking like necessarily we're gonna get that. It's more likely that this is going to continue to go up higher with the rest of the market. And so kind of what I'm watching out for this is a better place to kind of rebuy and look to enter this market with things kind of how they're working out currently. But with that being said, this is definitely one on my watch list because of the fact I can definitely tell that this is being heavily accumulated in the short term. And anytime I see a coin being heavily accumulated, that's a good signal that you want to be buying. And so kind of what I'm watching out for. I would really like to get another retrace out of this. I don't know if we're going to. We have broken out of this major descending resistance. It's more likely that we're gonna break up a little bit higher out of here. But like I said, I'm just gonna have to kind of watch and see and monitor and then update you guys as follows. But this is the next one on the list. This is Grin. Solid coin to be watching out for. I remember a lot of Twitter OGs talking about this with significance back when it was first added to exchanges. Haven't heard anything since, but you usually don't when they start retracing. So watching this one, it's very on the DL, but I'm excited for this project. All right, guys, next up we have IOTA. Now, IOTA was recommended to me by a member of my Discord. If you guys have recommendations for coins you want me to cover, feel free to drop them in my Discord server and I will get back to those on a later video, or even in the comment section of this YouTube video. Feel free to do whatever you choose. But this is one that's very awesome and it's going to be setting up for a nice hype cycle. I could definitely tell that already. Based off of our Elliott wave count, we had our 1, we had our 3, and then we had a very, very overextended 5 wave. And then we had a strong bear market that took us basically all the way back down to nothing. Almost a full retrace. But since then, we've got some nice accumulation. We rode on this trend and now we're breaking up out of this. Starting to test further resistance levels on the way up. So this was actually a signal that I called back down right in here. And so we are in profit in this and I am super excited to see where it's going to take us from here. Overall, this is something that is this is something I'm super excited for the simple reason. I mean, I don't know shit about IOTA. But I can definitely tell that this is going to be a nice hype cycle. Oftentimes when you have these very parabolic runs like this, and then you have these sharp retraces that fully retrace, oftentimes you have a very insane hype cycle on the way up. And I can refer you guys back to XRP in the early days of crypto. This is kind of a pattern that I've been watching out for a lot of these alts. Now, obviously, this does not look very similar to IOTA currently, but that's just because of the fact back in these days, crypto didn't have very much money into it, right? And so it was going to be more volatile, but it does follow the same sort of trajectory. We have a very parabolic rise, prices basically fully retrace, and then what spawns out of that is a very nice hype cycle on the way up. And so if this follows current values of XRP, then we'd be looking at something like a high up to here would be my target. So like $2.60, right around there. So I mean, from where we're at, that would be about 400% return, which is a very solid parabolic run. And I would not be the least bit surprised to see it hit up here. And I think that these cryptos are gonna surprise a lot of people when they do have these very parabolic runs out of these lows, because this is a major shakeout. There's really no money left in this because of the fact it fully retraced. And so the people that are buying this dip are going to be rewarded significantly due to the amount of fear that's still left in this market. You have smart money that's actively accumulating. I'd say have been actively accumulating since about right here, and the lower that they get, they continue to add to those positions, because you're seeing that nice rounded bottom that I'm talking about. Rounded bottom is a very definitive sign of accumulation, and oftentimes creates very large hype cycles to come. So one thing I'm watching out for IOTA is the fact I'm expecting us to have a pretty significant rally on the upside throughout this alt season. Now, is it going to break all-time highs and continue and go beyond? I find that less likely. Remember guys, with these alt seasons, you have a few different cycles a year depending on really what Bitcoin's doing. Because I mean, if we go back and let's go take a look at Ripple real quick, just because this is a solid indicator to use and kind of see what happened with Ripple in the last cycle. Because remember guys, we're basically right here with these altcoins. They made their first rallies in 2017, in 2018, and then they had fully retraced, and then they fully retraced, and most of them fully retraced, not all of them, and now we're getting the first really impulses out of that. So kind of what I'm expecting to happen is I'm not expecting it to be the same sort of sideways consolidation that we had back in 2015 and 2016. I don't think it's gonna take this long. I believe that we're pretty much already on the outs of all of this, and so we won't see something as similar, but we will see something close to. I think that with some of these coins like IOTA, even Cardano are following this specific cycle of XRP, and they're gonna come up and make very hyped cycles on the way up, and then they're gonna need to retrace and kind of consolidate sideways for a little while, regain momentum before we see something similar to this. And this is kind of the pattern that I'm gonna be watching for these altcoins, because it's what happened in the last alt season that we had. Now, with that being said, I think that it's going to behave a little bit differently. I think that things will get a little bit more parabolic quicker because of the fact we have Bitcoin that is just significantly driving the market in this time. With Bitcoin, we've gone super parabolic in the short term. Something that we didn't, I think that's something that most people didn't expect to see. If we drop this to a monthly time frame, you're going to see a significant monthly candle. I think that this is pretty much the biggest close of a monthly candle that we're ever going to see when this thing does close. Bigger than this one that we saw here. Now, even though this one overextended, the close was smaller than this one that we're seeing right now. So we're currently seeing the biggest monthly candle in Bitcoin history, which is a definitive signal, guys, that this cycle is going to be very hyped. Kaya! So this is what I'm watching out for, guys. With this cycle, it's going to be very much more parabolic in my opinion. We're gonna see prices go up quicker than we ever have before, and we already currently are with all of this new institutional money flooding into it. I believe that altcoins are going to see a significant return, either when we hit this resistance and pull back, or it's hard to say exactly. There's a few different options I'm watching for. Either we go parabolic into this final push up to this 10K resistance, and then we pull back and the alts follow suit, or we could see Bitcoin kind of pulling up to this 6K resistance, alts following along, and then when we do hit this resistance and Bitcoin pulls back, all of that money floods into the alts, because oftentimes that is what happens. So there's a few different alternatives to watch out for. Overall, alts are setting up across the board, and so the best thing that you can do in this time is take some of those Bitcoin profits, deploy them into some of these cheap altcoins, ride out alt season, rebuy the dip in Bitcoin, and then rinse and repeat throughout however many cycles we have in the future, because that's the way that I like to do this. Anytime you can ride out a full Bitcoin wave, take those profits, lock those in, diversify some into lower support levels to catch the dip, as well as rebuy those altcoins. The altcoins are going to give you 5-10x return depending on your strategy, and then you can just rebuy the dip with even more Bitcoin. So this is the really cool thing about crypto, is the fact that we have all of these cycles to trade, to rebuy and add to our Bitcoin stack, because this sucker is going to fly, and anybody that owns Bitcoin is going to be rewarded significantly in the short term as well as the long term future. So anyways guys, this is the video I had for you. If you found this video helpful, do myself a favor by leaving a like, comment, and subscribing to this channel for more updates. If you guys like my analysis and want to see more of that, do yourself a a favor by clicking the invitation link in the description of this video, and there you will get access to my Discord server. Currently, we're at just under 110 members, so we are growing still. It really is exciting to have you guys a part of this Discord. It really does mean a lot to me. This is my baby, this is my community, and so I'm truly excited to have you guys a part of this, and it would really be awesome to get some more people in here. With this recent parabolic run, we're seeing lots of new members joining, seeing lots of people posting really informative articles, as well as just private technical analysis. So if you guys want to join a significant community that you can get behind, feel free to click the invitation link in the description of this video, and there you'll get access to my Discord. So with all that being said, thank you all so much for watching this video. I will catch you in the next one. As always, peace out.